Okay, once I get it blended enough, and I like the way these two look, and I think they're blended nicely together, then what I can do is I can take and merge these two layers together so they're no longer separate. And so when I move them, they move together. So to merge two layers, all you're going to do is hold Control or Shift to grab multiple layers. So I'm just holding down the Control button and I click on both. Then I can right click and go to Merge Layers. And I'll just merge these two together. So if I go to the Move tool, I'll be able to like move them as one. Or I can Control T and Control T it as one. Okay, so I think I'm going to put him there, hit enter. Now you can see like some of this grass and stuff, it looks a little off because I set her or him in a polar bear exhibit. So that probably wasn't the best thought, something that you want to think about. I could go through though and go to my eraser tool and just start to erase this if I think it looks strange. I could kind of carefully erase it, but however, I'm going to probably end up erasing this poor little guy's legs. So something I should have kept in mind when I was first placing him in a scene. So maybe instead of this, I'm going to undo, Control Z. I'm going to place him on a grassy scene. Actually, I can place it with the other peacock. Let's do that. Okay. So I've merged these together and I'm just going to select him. I want to copy and paste this little guy into a different place now. So I can just take any of these. These are selection tools as well, like this rectangle one. I can just click and grab him because he's the only thing on that layer. I can Control C. And then I'm going to go here. Let's go find that peacock again. I'm going to Control V and paste him in here. So I think it fits way better in this habitat with his friend. So now it's kind of they're crisscrossing and together here in the scene. So this lighting as well is so much better. So kind of find a place. It seems like here would be good. So you could essentially just copy and paste the giraffe's head into this picture, but then I couldn't have erased the peacock's head because I would have erased the background. So if you were to do something like that, like this, and I copy to create this little creature and paste the giraffe's head here, you could do that. I would just have to go in then and clone stamp or use some of the blending tools to get rid of the peacock's head. So and hit enter. So you can do it both ways. So maybe I could use this filling tool, but I have to go on the background layer now. This is on the background layer, and let's see if it'll get rid of it. Oh, it kind of does. Look at that. So I could have done it that way as well, since I was going to keep it in the same background. So you could select both, copy and paste them both into a new atmosphere or a new habitat, or you could do it this way. So I'm going to go back to my eraser tool and now start to make sure you're on the correct layer. And then I'm going to move this over just a little. And then you can start to hit enter, erase and blend. So now I have two of them. And the nice thing is like the shadow is already there. So it kind of looks like it belongs there because I'm using the shadow of the original peacock. So from here, I'm going to save. If you go to save as, it only gives you the option to save it as a Photoshop file. So the Photoshop file is fine. The only thing is it's going to save it with your layers. So if you ever wanted to go in and change or fix your layers, you can do that. So I like to do that for this. I'm going to call this Morph. And then that's probably fine. And then hit OK. But then to turn it into me, I'd like to go to File, Save as a Copy. And anytime you want to turn it into Teams or onto your website, you're going to have to save as a copy and then go to JPEG. And then from here, just hit save. And then I always save it at the maximum file size. One last thing, sometimes when you paste something into a totally different environment, you have to go in and like color match it. Like before when I tried to put this creature into the polar bear exhibit, it looked very like bright and different toned. It's almost like too warm tone. I'm going to press Control D and that will deselect this. But what you're going to do is you can always go on to the layer. So I'm on the giraffe and peacock layer right now. You could go on to that layer and make adjustments to that layer. I went to color balance. Like I could change the tone, see my little animals changing and getting a little darker or brighter. So sometimes it's helpful to like change the tone of an animal if needed. You can also, add a photo filter or something to your JPEG when you're done, and that will kind of make them look similar. Like if I made this whole photo black and white, that could help as well.